Holy heck, lots of seeds. Damn. Yeah, if we're going by the fact that outside, standing by the door to our base, we would be. Would the big boot be north or?
The big boot would be north.
Okay, so I am approximately northeast then from our base. I can. Oh, that's right. I can actually see over to the big dam. I think in the starter area from where I stand right now.
Fancy.
Yeah, that's
I
actually
have,
pretty cool.
I have stumbled across some Blazar quartz.
Okay, we must definitely be on the same spires then, because I'm also mining Blazar core. Which is weird. Okay. Okay, you're over by. Oh, you must be over by that com tower thingy.
Yes.
I have just arrived there as well. So, a happy family reunion.
Yay. Vixie.
Yay! That's actually the first time we've been in the same place except for our base.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I have a
space
bad
food.
habit of just like kind of running away. Hey, there you are. Hi.
Hi. Don't worry, I have the same problem.
How are you,
Oh,
Vixie? Ooh, a blue chip.
hi Vixie. Oh, I just found our very first
Alicoco.
mushroom. Is that a alley hunging cocoa?
It is.
I just found our very first mushroom seed pack.
Excellent. I have a silicon. If you happen to stumble across a piece of iron, actually I have both. So in that place where you picked up that blue chip,
Yeah.
I am going to create a blue chip screen. Just kidding.
Oh,
I
can you
need
do
another
that?
piece of iron because
Oh, I have one here.
I have to build a platform.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Alley hunging cocoa.
I get knocked down. Oh, I'm
The,
missing
the
one piece of toxic goo that is preventing me from building.
yeah,
And
it
here it is
starts
down here.
around. Oh,
Okay, so now I'll come back up to where you were.
all right.
And
How the heck did you do that?
I
Is there an elevator or?
on the other side is some
Yeah.
stair or ladder.
Oh, nice.
I'm lurking among the fart clouds. It's very thoughtful of
Sounds
you.
about right.
And there we go. All right, so there's your screen. You can decode your blueprint.
Thank you. Just had to prevent myself from dying the death. Tier 3 deconstruction. Let's go.
Do we even have tier 2 yet?
I actually have no idea. I don't even know. No, I don't actually think so. We still have tier 1.
Weird. Weird. Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay, so this area is clean. There's just chests to loot.
Awesome. Time to loot the glutes.
I mean, sure.
I mean, why not? Sure, right. Oh, that's right. It's toxic lake galore down there. Can I, with the current jetpack, can I get up there or? Nah. Nope. Dang it! So close.
Bye-bye. Alright, I'm
God
gonna head
damn
back
it.
to the house and drop all this shit off.
Roger that. And I'll see if I can climb the spire to the top.
Okay.
And I could not because I think I hit an invisible wall. Wait, never
Oh,
mind. I'm at the top, baby!
sweet.
And there was actually a chest up here.
Nice.
Okay, I have 2 oxygen capsules left. So I'm gonna do what we in the pro gamer world calls a little bit exploring.
Oh, this other train is open.
Oh, nice! So we can actually get over to the big boob with it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Deconstruct debris. Good. Oh, wait. Another eggplant seed. Don't mind if I yes. Oh, blueprint.
Excellent. And those
Come
blueprint
on,
screens
what?
are real easy to make. I mean, you essentially need a piece of iron for a platform,
Yeah,
and then iron and silicon for the screen.
that is actually really simple. Okay. In Tusker seed, thank you. Anything else of interest here? Except me getting a black screen. I do not want that.
Don't like black screens.
Nope. Okay, that's a tier 2 heater just hanging out here. Okay, okay. There's a big staircase going down. This is cool. Or big ramp, I think it's called. Oh, another mushroom packet. Yes, sirs. Now we can make bioplastic nuggets, I think.
We love some bioplastic nuggets.
We sure do. Wait, is this toxic water? This is indeed toxic water. Glug glug. What's this? Fruit? Or glow fruit here? Nothing. Dang it. Alright, I'm coming back to base. Do we happen to have some fertilizer made or something so we can make flower spreaders?
I happened to pick up 2 fertilizers while I was out.
Ain't no frigging way. That's awesome.
So.
Oh, I'm back in the starter area again. I took a wrong turn.
Took a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
Exactly. And I ended up in Kentucky. I don't know if they're close or anything. It just sounded nice in my head.
They're not really close at all, but I applaud your effort.
Well, that does actually make sense in my confusion then. Okay, I am utterly lost, but luckily I have one. Oh, this is a very toxic area. As in, we haven't even started doing anything here. This
There's
stretches
an area in where the train goes. The tunnel.
Oh yeah.
There's an area in there that needs to be cleaned up too.
Right on. I just need to find my way back and then we'll be hunky-dory. I do remember the tunnel Is it the starter tunnel or that tunnel we came through?
The tunnel that we came through to get to the area that we're in now.
Okay. Yeah, I've been meaning to get down there once we stabilized our situation.
Yeah.
But given that I can't seem to get lost in a barrel trying to find one of the corners right now, I have a hard time just getting anywhere.
You're doing great, sweetie.
There we go. Thank you. I am trying very hard right now.
We do have tier 2 deconstruction chips available to us, but they need zeolite and methane.
And we haven't found any zeolite yet.
That is correct.
As far as I know, at least.
Nor do we have the ability to make methane. So that's what we're waiting on.
Okay. Yeah, but methane, that's gonna take a lot of prep work to get to.
Methane's should be the easy one to get when we get the gas extractor.
Oh yeah, that's right, and it also produces oxygen capsules sometimes.
It will when you get I think the tier 2. No, it might come up at the tier 1. You're right.
It does, yeah. Okay, I found my way back to the big boob. Jesus Christ. I looked over at my secondary monitor and
Joe Hendry
staring in my face. Oh. See, all we need is Ever's head photoshopped on top of him, and then we'll be hunky dory. Gas extractor, that's pressure, right?
Gas extractor is pressure. It unlocks at 100, and we are at 15.
Jesus Christ, we need some big drills, stat.
Yeah.
Or some more drills at least.
We got tier 3 drills, so I'm going to build a few of those. 2 iron, 2 titanium, 2 aluminum.
Oh, gee. No, don't open up phone. I made it and I didn't die. Hooray! Let's go! Everybody like that. Oh, gee. Okay, global purification. We're actually at 50% global purification. We've cleaned 25 out of 33 areas.
All right, I got 3 more. I think I'm just... No, never mind.
What up?
I thought I lost count of how many drills we had, but I just added 3 more.
Well, as you told Ever 2 days ago.
Yep.
When in doubt, build more.
Build more. Yep. How are we doing on power? 102.
Damn. Really? Oh, we've only used 140?
We are consuming 900. Yeah, I mean 140 since the last time you looked. We are...
Dang.
Actually, it's probably 120 because well, no, that's not true, because then there's the heaters. So yeah, it adds up. My math is wrong. We have tier 2 toxic water collectors. So I'm guessing we built one in the old area.
No, I built a tier 2. Let's see, over to the northeast from here. You can actually see the outside the door.
Gotcha. Okay, so we have 2 that are out there.
Yeah, and it's helping us with the purification. Wait a minute.
So I could
We
build
have that.
12
What?
more tier 3 drills, and we would just be hitting the cap of power. So
Dang.
I think we're doing okay a little bit.
Yeah,
But I will build a few
well.
more.
And on that note, I will also build another heater.
Okay.
Because we need heat to unlock the better drills. I swear, once we hit the tier 4 drills, we'll be purifying this planet in no time.
As long as we can get the materials to make them.
I mean, it's basically, isn't it like 6 super alloy and aluminium or something?
I don't know.
Or osmium?
Something stupid.
Yeah. Okay, we need a new plant logger because I brought back like 10 plants or something. Oh wait, we have storage upstairs. And fully grown squash.
We're at about 78% on the vegetation renewal.
Awesome.
And that number's going up at a decent tick.
Fan-freaking-tastic. And now all we need is some flower spreaders with Tosca seeds in them, because I don't think we found any golden seeds. Not that I can remember, at least.
We can't build the tier 2 biodome until our purification is at 10. And right now it is at 2.
Okay.
So we got
yeah, that's right. It says that. I'm gonna yoink the water. Did you have the fertilizer?
I put it in the random chest right here.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Oh.
Super alloy and magnesium. Or as my friend calls it, the fake aluminum. Flower spreader. Super alloy, of course. And I have a Tosca seed on me. I actually have 2. Huh.
We have
awesome
tier 2 atmosphere purifiers available to us.
2 atmospheric. Oh yeah, that's right. Those.
And it looks like we've got 2 out there already, but we've got 6 of the tier 1s, which are probably not doing squat for us.
Only giving us 4.6. Oh, I'm gonna hate myself for saying this, but 4.67 purification per second.
6.7.
6.7, yeah. Ugh.
Every time I hear it now, it's in Ever's voice.
Yep.
6.7.
He does a very fantastic and annoying 6.7 voice.
Right,
oh my god. Good. Another super alloy, magnesium, and fertilizer. Super alloy, and then another fertilizer. Good. 2 flower spreaders. It's gonna give us some plants in the biolab, but most importantly, it's gonna give us oxygen.
Oh.
Dang it!
And then the power.
Boom. Oh, and boom goes the dynamite.
That's right.
Let's see how much is it. Okay, you can see how much you need, so I'm just do. Wait a minute, we have literally tons of what's it called, uranium rods. Let's see, tier 2 reactor.
So that's
one super alloy free.
That's my trick to save space when it comes to uranium rods or uranium and iridium, is I just turn them all into rods as much as I can, because you could just use the recycler, the scrapper, whatever the hell that thing's called, to get all the iridium back if you need to.
See, on that note, I think I owe my friend an apology. He said the exact same thing as you did. Just a quick thing. We actually have one zeolite, so you can get the tier 2 deconstruction if you want to.
Yeah, go for it. I'm sure I'll stumble upon one somewhere.
I can't remember where we stumbled upon it. It was somewhere very weird.
I imagine we'll see one in a chest somewhere.
Oh yeah, probably. Was it osmium and zeolite to create the tier 2 one? Can't remember.
It was methane.
Oh yeah, methane. Then never mind.
Which at some point we'll find in a chest as well.
True. I am 90% certain that we had some boom boom powder somewhere. And we did. Good. And oh, thank God we have plenty of water. Normal water bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And the terraformer said, let there be power. And then I built a nuclear reactor. That's probably not the most sane outcome now that I think about it. Oh, look at that. We're 82.25% through vegetation renewal. Okay. Let's make 2 explosive boom powders. I'll make what's it called? Another nuclear reactor. Super alloy. Need one of those bad boys. 2, 7, 8. Damn it. And free water. Okay, power. We shouldn't have any power problems yet or anytime soon.
We're about to find out.
Well, I just made 2 tier 2 nuclear reactors, so that's 663 power.
I'm putting down, I think 3. I'm putting down 3 of the tier 2 purifiers.
That's not too bad then. But yeah, we do. We desperately need more purification. Yeah. We're at 594.80 PU per second, which is, well, it's not a lot. Okay, I think I need to see a doctor or something, because I thought it said a rounded ass floor.
I mean,
it's not wrong, but
whatever makes you happy.
Exactly. And if I do that, then I'll be happy. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, I desperately need a compass. When do we unlock the tier 3 exoskeleton? That's gonna take a lot, doesn't it? 1.1 GTI. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Well, on the plus side,
I think we've hit that stage where it's time to just start ramping up everything.
I mean, we could go exploring a little bit to just, get just let it flow a little bit.
Yep. Let me.
But if you wanna expand, be my guest.
No, we're good.
Because
Let me just grab another bean.
Beans.
Bean.
One of my favorite memes so far. Okay, wait. Hides lower tiers of items from. Oh, wait. Is that a new one? The construction menu filter, microchip. Hides lower tiers of items from the construction menu.
No, I think that's been there.
Okay, I've just not seen it before then. Okay, compass, silicon, magnesium, and 2 aluminum. If I need to find my way back, I at least need to know where the heck I am.
Yeah.
Tier 4 mining speed, yes. Displays the number of toxic goo remaining when you're in a toxic area. I probably should carry that with me. Okay, don't need that one so far. Okay, it was actually a good idea to go by, or rather, the big boob is south from our base door. So it wasn't actually, you weren't too far off.
Okay. So if the big move is south, yeah, then yeah, I was south west.
Yeah, southwest is all. Southwest is also where I've placed my toxic water thingy.
Cool.
Okay.
Let me grab some silicon and some polymer so that we can build.
Yes. Oh, a goo storage or.
Yeah.
You were talking about the tunnel before.
Oh, yeah, we could do the tunnel.
I mean, it's literally next door.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 2 purification capsules and 4 oxygen capsules. So I think I'll be.
Alright. So I think to get in there, we have to go down here, get up on the doohickey, and then walk back.
Oh, the tracks. You can just fly up the wall, and then.
Can you?
Yeah, they've since we played it together last time, they have tweaked the way you fall with the jetpack, so it goes slower.
Cool.
So gravity doesn't quite.
Look at that.
So they actually improved it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it doesn't bug again like it did when I played solo. I was flying with my jetpack in the meteor crater thing on Prime, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was still flying with my jetpack, and as soon as I landed, let go like this, and then plop down, I just died instantly.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just glad that I wasn't playing on a hardcore save.
Right.
Wait a minute. We've cleaned this water. Huh.
Have we been back
here? Yeah, I think I was at some point because we needed purified water, and yeah, this was the closest source. But I don't think I cleaned everything. Did I?
Yeah, we must have cleaned this.
Yeah. Well, barbecue my ham hocks. Yeah, we have, because there is toxic goo right here.
Look at that.
We
look
have
at us.
actually done it.
Doing better than I thought we were. Oh, and then here's our starting area.
Yeah.
I'm going to top up on oxygen while I'm here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can head over to the old base Rooney. This little... Oh yeah, that's right, we built this one. Any resources? Nope. Only basics.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually need blazer quartz for the tier 3 deconstruction chip.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I'm gonna go
Because
look
we
at the
already
old
have
base.
that. Look at that butte.
Memories. La 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 la.
Well, there's 4 of our tier 1
I was gonna
purification
say,
things.
here's where all these low-level things are.
Oh my god, and our Brelia seeds and the vegetubes.
We have a chest
Oh
called
my
Bad Goop.
bad goof, that's right.
There's a shit ton of cobalt.
Oh, there's a lot of messages. Oh yeah, that's all the ones we found last time. Hmm. Oh, that's right. One of the dudes, what was it? Entered whatever was down there in the big boob, and his skin got burned, so they sealed the entrance down there. Oh, I'm yoinking that ice back. Okay. I regret deleting the advanced craft station because I actually need to use it. Dang it! There we go. Okay, can't make... I couldn't make a uranium rod, but I could make an iridium rod. Holy smokes.
Pat has hit 2 out of 3 on his last 4. Last 4? Yeah, last 4 rolls.
Man, RNGesus is on his side.
I guess so. Oh, it's dark.
Wait, did we finish? Holy moly. Did we finish, every biome over here? By the black market thing?
I thought we did, but always doesn't hurt to double check.
I mean, there's only 8 areas left toxic goo, and we know for a fact that one of them is at least in one of the directions from the big boob.
Yeah.
Man, it's 8:23 p.m. and it's still light outside. I freaking love springtime. Okay, plenty of ice around here.
He got another 2 out of 3. It's like 5
God
in a
damn,
row.
Pat. Pat has he has lured the system. I wonder, are there any golden chests in this map? Because I can't remember if only Humble added more chests or Toxicity actually added some too.
I feel like there are some here. I don't know how many it is, but so he went.
Oh, that's right.
He went 5 in a row, hitting 2 out of 3, and then he hit 0.
Ah, dang it! Well,
hey, it's funny
win some and lose some.
Golden chest, because I just found one.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Where?
So I am to your let's see, to your right, up on a hill.
To my right. Oh, there. Oh my god, so it's true.
My inventory is full, so have at that.
Well, oh my god, of course there is golden chests. We have found golden effigies before.
Makes sense. Ooh, lake water collected.
Speaking of... Well, barbecue my ham hocks. We cannot build lake water collectors until we hit 10 MPU.
Super.
And we built a lot of small bases around here.
Yeah, oops. I hopped in there and then forgot to top off. I was too interested in what was in the chest.
Oh, same, actually.
Like, oh, what'd we store here? What'd we put here? What's over here?
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Shiny.
Oh, don't get me started on shiny. Okay. This still has green water in it, but the mist is blue now. Huh. It's a pretty good indicator whether we... how far in the detoxification process we are.
Mm-hmm.
And damn, Pat just hit a 3 out of 3. He's a lean, mean, rocking machine. Or
wonder how
lever pulling machine.
Wonder how he's calculating how much he should bet.
I'm actually curious too, because it seems to me that it's gambling not a set amount, but just but sort of like everything. But since he just lost everything before, he shouldn't be able to keep doing that.
Well, only if, yeah, I mean, he's only losing whatever it was he spun at that point, right? So unless he spun everything he had, he would still have some left over.
That's true. It seems like it's that number 419431321600.
Yeah.
And then when he hits jackpot or something, it doubles the amount.
Right.
So he has one left constantly then. It's actually really smart. Okay, decode the blueprint. No more blueprints to decode for now.
Well, that is tragic.
Yeah, actually. But we are officially done with the plant's renewal stage, and we are in the purified atmosphere stage.
That was fast.
Yeah, and to really emphasize how far we are, we're almost 2% through the purified atmosphere. Only 0.15 left till we hit 2%. And let me see. And 2% has been hit, so it's going quite fast.